Good afternoon. It's September 14, 2024. We're critiquing the news. The article on your screens from the Cairns Post, titled Risk of Collapse After Scam. The first paragraph reads as such: an Australian company is on the brink of collapse after scammers stole nearly $40,000 from it and the bank refused to reimburse the business. It turns out the business may be a fairly small one. It's run by Roland Sharman, aged 80, who sells DIY sail shades around the world. He's been doing that for 18 years and he lives off that, doesn't need a age pension. So in July, he received an order for $38,000 worth of goods, shipped them to the requested address in the Middle East, but then that same amount of money was taken out of his company's account in what's called a chargeback, which is when the customer disputes the transaction and the money disappeared from his account. The ANZ facilitated that. It turned out that the customer that Mr. Sharman had used a stolen credit card, and the rightful owners of the credit card wanted their money back, which was fair enough so far as that goes. But when Mr. Sharman tackled the ANZ and said, well, I'm a victim of fraud here as well, you need to be returning my money, you facilitated its withdrawal and sending back to the owners of the credit card, they washed their hands of it. So again, we quote, despite banking with the ANZ for the better part of 2 decades, Mr. Sharman was shocked by the bank's response when he alerted them to the scam. They told him that that he should have installed a measure called 3D Secure, which he hadn't heard of, and I haven't heard of it either. But Mr. Sharman has good reason to be disgusted by the ANZ's response to the dodgy-sounding chargeback that the ANZ allowed to be taken from his account. However, under the Federal Labor Party's draconian new Communications Legislation Amendment Combating Misinformation and Disinformation Bill 2024, Mr. Sharman will have broken the law by criticising the ANZ publicly in the Cairns Post. Section 14, for the purposes of this schedule, serious harm is F. Imminent harm to the Australian economy, including harm to public confidence in the banking system or financial markets. Criticising the ANZ for failing to keep his money safe harms public confidence in the banking system. People like me, who have criticised governments for decades, will also be guilty under this legislation. Section 14 again. For the purpose of this schedule, serious harm is A. Harm to the operation or integrity of a Commonwealth, state or local government electoral or referendum process. The government gets to decide what is truth and what is harmful misinformation. Imagine a world where politicians have the gall to tell the rest of us not to lie, and they alone get to decide what's a lie and what's not. The legacy mainstream media organisations are exempt from these rules because the government needs them to pump out its disinformation. Peak Clown World has to be closed now.